Well, if you're an XRP holder, you're going to want to pay attention to this video because it specifically talks about Sologenic and the Solo token. I have some information about what's going on, how many people are now actually keeping track and watching the Solo token's price movements, and I have some information about the new airdrop coming up, as well as some information on a new exchange it's being listed on. I'm also going to talk about what Ripple just released in their statement. Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, for regulation of the cryptocurrency world. I'm going to tell you what their primary points are. And not only that, some of the speculation as to why they actually released it right now, considering the case that they're in with the SEC. And if you're following Bitcoin and the rest of the market, you have seen that Bitcoin just dropped below $60,000, although it's peaking above it as we speak. But I'm going to talk about what some of the data shows and what could be happening in the near term in terms of this bull run and this market cycle, and what one crypto analyst has to say about a major correction that could be coming. Hey everyone, my name is Randy and welcome back to the Late Night Grind. Right now on this channel, I'm covering the Ripple versus the SEC case, but as of right now, it's very quiet on that front. So I'm also covering cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all those topics interest you, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also click that bell notification icon. That way YouTube will send you a notification when I release a new video. And if you're feeling generous today, I'd really appreciate it if you do two things. Number one, smash that thumbs up button, and number two, watch this video all the way to the end. Those are really the two best things that you can do to support a YouTube channel. So if you do that, I greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, let's jump into it. So first thing I'm going to talk about is what Bitcoin is actually doing right now, because after it dipped below 60,000, touched 58,000, it's now climbing upward. And a lot of people have been talking about, well, if this is supposed to be a bull run, if this is supposed to be a big November and December, why is it doing what it's doing? In fact, Plan B says 98,000 in November is still in play. And his stock to flow model, which predicts 135,000 by the end of December, or some point in December, is also still in play. So what's going on with this correction? Well, there's a lot of things that are involved in this correction. Number one, Bitcoin just hit a new all-time high the other week at 69,000, and typically after new all-time highs, it does have a correction. The other part of it is that so many people are bought into the idea that this is going to be a longer-term bull run and a massive upswing for Bitcoin at some point, that leveraged traders continue to go all in, and they continue to get liquidated and whacked when they're wrong. About $882 million worth of leveraged traders got liquidated in the past week, adding to what's already a market that's in at least a short-term or temporary correction. So where are we going from here? Well, there is one speculative crypto analyst who says this pullback is not over. In fact, he sees it going even lower, back to about the $2.4 trillion total market cap of all of crypto, before it resumes its uptick. And he says healthy corrections like this are necessary, but in a market like this, it may need to actually see a 20% correction before ultimately continuing a big upswing and lifting the rest of the market. So if you want to pay attention to that, make sure you subscribe to this channel, and we're going to keep talking about it. Next, I want to talk about what Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, and their head of regulatory compliance just released in what they call a real approach to cryptocurrency compliance. Now, in the statement, Ripple also makes it very clear, they mentioned several times, that in their view, it's really the public and private sector collaboration that is going to end up with the best regulatory rules altogether. And that's kind of the premise of their statement. It was a several-page statement. I'll link it in the description if you want to go read the full PDF. But in it, they make statements about how US regulators can actually use existing frameworks and simply adapt some of those to the cryptocurrency markets. In fact, utilizing those existing frameworks and kind of creating what he called innovation sandboxes could be another step in the right direction. And the main premise of everything that they're saying is that the public and private sectors need to have collaboration in order to have actual and real-life regulatory laws that make sense for both the innovators and the protections for the investors. In fact, he cited two regulatory proposals that are already out there. Number one, the Securities Clarity Act, which would seek to propose a new term called investment contract asset. And the point of that is to differentiate between a typical security and a digital asset. And number two, the Digital Commodity Exchange Act, which actually seeks to create a federal definition of a digital commodity exchange. And in fact, they point out that the CFTC is the ones that should be in charge of these regulatory acts, not the SEC. So what's the speculation about why Brad Garlinghouse would actually put out this essentially framework for what they believe would be good and constructive collaboration for regulatory clarity? Well, BitBoy Crypto, among several others that I saw in the crypto space, are now saying this almost sounds like a pre-settlement announcement. In other words, he's not going to actually put out a statement like this saying we need to work hand in hand unless he actually knows what's happening on the back end. That's some wild speculation, but nonetheless, it's out there. And now finally, I'm going to talk about Sologenic, because if you're an XRP holder or a Sologenic holder, a Solo token holder, you're going to want to pay attention to this because it is referring to the massive quantity of new eyeballs that is now on the Solo token. Now, of course, we all know about the big price movements that it's done in the past couple of weeks. It's since had a pullback and is starting to climb a little bit again. I think a lot of that pullback was due to what Bitcoin is actually going through right now. However, there is a Twitter user, his name is Cesar Torres, and he screenshotted a watch list number from CoinMarketCap. And in it, it showed that the Solo token has been added to the third most amount of watch lists on CoinMarketCap. And it's not even a top 10 crypto. It's not even a top 250 crypto. And at the time of this screenshot, there was approximately 1.8 million people that had added Solo to their watch list just on CoinMarketCap. And while I was doing some research for the video, I checked it out, and it's already up to nearly 2.2 million people have added Solo to their watch list on CoinMarketCap. So it is definitely out there. There is a lot of interest, and I have some information about another exchange that's going to be listing it and what they're going to be doing about the new airdrop for XRP holders. But first, I want to talk a little bit about the speculation of why so many people are looking at Solo right now. Well, it's not a real speculation, it's out there. If you go on Twitter, if you go on YouTube, everybody's talking about this coming airdrop. The airdrop, if you hold Solo or XRP, you are going to get some form or some amount of the Solo token. Of course, it all depends on what their snapshot shows. On December 24th, Sologenic is going to take a snapshot to see how many people hold XRP and how many people hold Solo tokens, and they'll distribute the Solo tokens accordingly. Everybody loves free money, thus they want to know about free airdrops. The other thing is that Sologenic is actually having a contest where they're giving away $120,000 worth of the Solo tokens. And as I saw right now, there's about 1.8 million people taking part of that contest. There's some information that you can go on CoinMarketCap and check it out. And of course, on top of that, you have Solo, which has great tokenomics. It's groundbreaking tech where you're going to be able to buy, sell, and trade tokenized securities, which is going to be the first of its kind. And of course, not only that, it's going to be built on the XRP ledger, which means interoperability with just about everything. And from a tokenomics standpoint and a potential price prediction standpoint, well, a lot of people are comparing it to Solana and to Binance Coin. Both had parabolic years and both have several hundred million coins in circulation. Of course, you can estimate that, well, maybe it could be worth $100, $200, or $600 per Solo token. Now you know why so many people are getting involved in this free airdrop. But of course, those are just price speculations. Solana is an ecosystem, not necessarily comparative to what Solo is, but Binance, which is an exchange, uses the Binance token to facilitate all its transactions on its ecosystem, is not quite, again, like Solo, but the tokenomics of those two are very similar. And the name of the exchange that just announced that they will be adding Solo to their offering is BitTrue. That's right, you will soon be able to go to BitTrue and get your Solo tokens there. And they said they will be supporting the Solo airdrop to XRP holders. So on a day which we saw Bitcoin drop approximately 12%, in which XRP holders are now really excited about not just XRP, but the Solo token, I want to know what your guys' investment strategy is. And you can answer that question in the comment section below. You can also answer that question by going to the community tab on my channel. I put this question out there. And what I want to know is, do you just invest and hold? Do you actually swing trade and try to play some of the market cycles? Do you day trade? Are you in and out of trades all day? Or do you dollar cost average, where you essentially add money into your favorite projects on a weekly basis regardless of what the prices are? Let me know in the comment section and the community tab up here. Well, once again, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of this video and for giving it a big thumbs up. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.